Anambra State. And today we want to know how far he has fared, how far he walked the talk, and how far he has changed the state, to the benefit of the Anambra. How far he is making the state prosperous, livable, clean, green, making it a mega city. I'm Roy Ekurife, asking you to join us.
NZUKO Ebonam.
So,
Dr. Alex.
Yeah, we are getting to you. So the program today, we are talking about 3 years in office of the governor, how far so far. And we have with us here a special advisor to the governor on political matters, Dr. Alex Obiobolu. Welcome to NZUKO Anambra.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Listeners.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Okay. Wow, it has been a very amazing 3 years, and we're here to have a little bit of assessment of what has been going on for the past 3 years in the government of Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, CFR. As the special advisor to Mr. Governor on political matters, how would you summarize Governor Soludo's performance in the past 3 years?
Well, two words I love to describe it with. It's been a phenomenal experience and time we spent, and it's been also transformational development of the state. Our state has really transformed. For anyone who's resident in the state in the last 32 years, you will have seen the rapid transformation that took place in the last 36 months. And, he did promise that, Mr. Governor did promise that he was going to bring about disruptive change. And going on the platform of the political party ABGA, Oyayana 1 year, which motto is Oyayana 1 year, we'd had hitherto 16 years of improved governance, where you had 2 ABGA governors who had preceded him. And he promised to take it to the next level. And he promised the disruptive change. And he did it basically on 5 pillars. He said, we're going to work on 5 pillars to change our people. Security law and order, economic transformation and infrastructure, governance and value system, environment, and then, of course, human capital, development and social systems. So those were 5 pillars. And in every sector of life in Anambra, there's been some touch of solution. He came with this mantra, solution is here. And while in government, with the lean pause he met, we brought in that mantra, which was doing more with less.
Yeah.
So there had to be accountability, transparency, and in terms of governance, we brought a new sphere of life. I mean, before then, budgets of every 1,000 naira that government spent, more than 800 naira was spent on salaries and what you call overhead.
Yeah.
Running the business, traveling, hotel, trainings. And he said, no, we need to take this money and put in capital infrastructure, what you call the capital expenditure. And so for the first time in this country, I've not seen any other state. I've been here involved in politics for over 32 years. You see a state government whose capital to recurrent expenditure is 75% to 25%. Never done, despite the fact that we have a huge salary bill portfolio. But you see, what has suffered is the overhead. So everybody's managing.
Yeah, exactly.
Even ABS is managing.
Yeah. Life is all about management. To manage what? To stay alive.
Be a good manager.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to ploy it, and that is why you see what's happened. In terms of budgeting, we did an innovative budgeting system that is electronic. In terms of procurement, we did e-procurement that made it possible that human influence in terms of procurement, public procurement, was very, very minimal.
Yeah.
And then, of course, before you could say Jack Robinson, he was getting accolades. in comparison, peer review of other states, we became number one in terms of fiscal responsibility, which had never been achieved in our state. And then, of course, prudence, budget, in terms of ease of doing business, we started. And what did all this result in? When you come to the one he declared emergency upon entry, on the 17th of March 2022, he had the first security meeting. The next day he went to NZUKO. Now those two things were intertwined. One, our people tend to forget that before 17th March 2022, Anambra was under siege of what we call the unknown government, who now we know. And 7 local governments in the whole of the south were under siege. Obaro inclusive, which made it the 8th local government. Obaro is in the north. And people had been displaced from their homes. You know, they had become IDPs, and nobody could move around freely. Even he, as a contestant, as an aspirant at that time, Abuga, he was attacked, and he lost 3 of his police escorts. Now, even the House member for Nnewi Federal Constituency lost his driver. So many assassinations were going on, and kidnappings. And what he did first was, held the security summit, and then went to NZUKO, which was the biggest slum virtually in West Africa. And you know, when you have slum and deprivation, crime will thrive. There were gangs. So what this formula was, that whilst we deal with the immediate issue of insecurity, we need to get to the root of the insecurity, which means, can we transform NZUKO to give them the amenities, give them the basic infrastructure, and give the youth the hope. So he visited them and promised them that. In terms of insecurity, after the security meeting, he reached out to the unknown government through their groups and said, listen, we need to have peace. Let's rehabilitate you. We have programs like 1U2 Skill coming up. We have programs like the SID that was on plan then. And they went to visit Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS facility to see whether he could be part of the solution, peaceful solution. And Kanu there said that he was not party to the violence going on in the southeast and in Anambra, and condemned the killings. So Mr. Governor said, after this amnesty, we were going to treat anybody as a terrorist. In fact, some man of God claimed that he had prophesied that he saw blood in Anambra, and people were running helter-skelter, and the governor was also running. And the governor said, keep your prophecy to yourself. This state will get hold of our insecurity. And he launched a 250-person AVG strike force that, in collaboration with the security agencies, flushed these criminals out of the forest. It was only when we got into the forest that we began to see the gruesome killings, murders that are taking place, skeletons of persons missing hitherto, and we saw all manners of charms and amulets on these criminals. So there became a connection to the fact that a traditional religion was now being abused, and people were being led and misled to believe that if they wore amulets or they had these charms, that it became invisible, and that led them, and also the drug interaction. So we knew it was a comprehensive thing. So after the flushing, you know, of course, we continued, and this led to the Homeland Security law that we have today, which is all comprehensive to deal with the root cause, where people promise in terms of religion, they promise people quick wealth that is not planned, that you have nothing to do, and have misled most of our young people. So security, we've gotten it. Today, Anambra is peaceful. In fact, by the 2nd year anniversary, reported cases of gunshot wounds had dropped by 87%.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not something today, it's been a work in progress to where we are now. In the last 1 month, the CP says there's been no exchange of gunfire in the last 1 month. So Anambra is now seems to be safe. But that is not over, because the people we are fighting are people who have, over the years, their value systems have changed. They believe in violence. They believe in get rich quick. So that is doing, you see, your know your neighbor, your tenant policy, You see where we've also talked about the hotels having security cameras and also having data of their visitors who they host. So it's been a comprehensive thing.
Yeah.
And what the Homeland Security Law has done now is to have 3 levels: the state, the local government, and the communities. Okay. The communities are urged to have their own security apparatus, which is the Agni Chamber. And then, of course, the collaboration effort with other security agencies is what you have the operation Udogachi. Now, apart from that, what Mr. Governor has also done that has been tremendous and transformational is, before he came in, the road infrastructure had collapsed. Not broken down, collapsed completely.
Yeah.
He declared an emergency on that. And in the last 36 months, 754 kilometers of road have been awarded, of which, as at February, I think February 14th, we had taken a scale of 460 kilometers of road has been asphalted. And that is tremendous. So in every local government, roads are going on. Anambra became a construction site. And not only it, we decided to also put things like the furniture, road furniture, the markings, the road signs, the traffic road signs, the traffic lights, to ease and make motoring pleasurable.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you see the flyovers across linking the old Oka and the new Oka, and you see the flyover also trying to reduce the traffic congestion at Ekolobia, which had been on for years, and the road had been widened. And then another thing we did in the road was that we decided to let's have a road master plan. In fact, it was first a transportation master plan, Mr. Governor said. So in railway, we have a railway master plan. Atelia, former Mahindra, was commissioned. They gave us a master plan on rail. I think 5 lines. And the intention is to start with the blue line very soon. And then, of course, in water, we also had a water transportation master plan. And then the road. In the road now, we categorize the roads into trunk A, trunk B, trunk C. And Mr. Governor said, we must be able to plan for 50 years ahead with the influx of people. Because the intention is to make this place, transform it from a departure lounge to a destination point. So where people come in to do business, to live, to learn, to relax and enjoy. So what basically to do was, let's dualize our roads. So that's why you've seen the dualization of the Amobia, Nise, Agolo, Nanka, Ekulobia, Oga, and Olo boundary dualization going on. That's taking us to the Imo State boundary.
Yeah.
Then you have another one coming from Mwagu Agolo, going through Oruhu, what's it called? In the South. Nobi, yeah. Newi, Ozobolo, and Okija Junction.
Yeah.
And of course, there's another intention to dualize again in the north. You know, all this is to be able to make this one mega state city. That is, you can live in Ekulobia and come and do your business in Oka every morning. You know, so that is it. And then Mr. Governor also intentionally said, listen, Nigerians are crying of hunger. Nigerians are crying of hardship. It's not enough for us to just give them palliatives. We need to lessen the burden of every average family. So imagine a family that earns 30,000 between husband and wife. Maybe they get 30, 40,000 a month. They have to spend it on rent. They have to spend it on food. They have to spend it on education. They have to spend it on health. Yeah. So governor's policy was, if we could relieve them of some of these functions, they will now have more money in their pockets to do more things.
Yeah.
So he targeted, saying, let's look at the education. Because in education, we want to build students and champions for the 21st century that will compete globally. That he's unapologetic about it. And what he did was that he said, listen, we did a staff audit of teachers, found out that they had a shortage of 7,500 teachers. In it, you won't believe that many schools lacked maths teacher.
Yeah.
And we were producing graduates from secondary schools without any knowledge of maths. So what we did was to now recruit 8,115 teachers that provided for not only the public schools, but also the mission public schools. That is, those mission schools that were given back, public schools that were given back to the missions. He gave them. Of the first 5,000, 80%, 4,000 were given to them. Because they also lacked teachers. and you had this history of PTA teachers. So with that, we injected a new wave into our educational system, where competence came in and we knew we could produce students. And then say, okay, let's lessen the burdens for the parents. Let's give them free education. So the government enacted free education from nursery, primary, junior secondary to secondary. And what did that do? That shot up our enrollment in terms of pupils in public schools by 18.7% within 1 year. And of course, you could say that it generated other results, because a year after, our teachers still winning awards, because he had recruited teachers based on competence that led to the fact that 18 states had their indigenes as within our teaching staff. So you were about to see the results. And we saw students now going to Malaysia to represent not only Nigeria but Anambra State. So with all this in education, we reduced the burden. Then he said, let's also give them health. Let's reduce their health care. So in the healthcare system, he did free antenatal, free maternal delivery, free cesarean section. Again, we saw a new trend where people from other states, about 48% of the beneficiaries of this scheme are from other states. So they come to Anambra to also give birth and deliver. And what results is not only has it reduced the burden, financial burden on parents, but it has also reduced a maternal mortality rate. Considerably. I forgot to mention that even in education, we had the least out of school dropout of children, 2.9%. And now is from the new survey being done, probably 0.025%.
Okay, some people say the governor is doing all this without borrowing a kobo. I don't know how true is that. If it's true, what do you think is responsible, for him to achieve all this without borrowing? Is he a magician?
No, two things come to mind. I have always stated that the governor is just a position. The manner and outcome of leadership a governor presents depends on the character of the person sitting on that position at any point in time. Mr. Governor, by nature, is a prudent person. He always will ask, how sustainable is this action that I'm taking? How can I do it more for less? Those two things. And that self-determination to stand on his point of view until you are able to have a superior argument. That determination that he's been in government over the years and been in the private sector and knows that the problem of government, public service, is this manner of sharing public funds and goodies to everybody alike. So obviously it attracted him a lot of opposition initially. But he was so focused on achieving the result. And that is why I think has been able to make him that he's been able to do more with less. I'll give you an example. When he came into government, he saw on the overall, we had the transition committee that presented the report and everything. And he saw that we were spending about 112 million monthly on facilities maintenance. And he said, 112 million. This is less than 30%, about 30% of what I met in the kitty. And he says, listen, we've got to do it another way. Can't we do it some other way and make it sustainable? He set up a committee. They came up with results. He said, no, go back and do more. By the time they came out, we had saved close to 4 billion in the last 3 years. It was done for 10% of what was being done. And the facilities are well maintained today. We've increased the facilities. So street sweeping, when I'm talking about the 111 was just that of Government House and the public secretariat. You've not talked about the roads, those who were sweeping roads, who were maintaining other facilities. So we had a savings of 4 billion. Now 4 billion will get you probably about 4 kilometers of road today, 4 or 5 kilometers of road. That has quality to last for 20 years.
Okay. Some critics, especially the opposition party or the opposition, not party per se, but that's because in every administration there are still people that do not quite agree with whatever anybody is doing. So these people argue that some certain campaign promises of the Solution administration has not yet been fulfilled. How do you respond to that?
Well, I can only respond when I know the ones that mentioned.
Some the opinion that the Dubai Taiwan that he promised, is this how we get to
Okay,
in Dubai Taiwan?
let's understand, what did he mean when he said Dubai Taiwan? Dubai is the name of a city.
Yeah.
Taiwan is the name of a country. So when someone says, I'm promising you Dubai Taiwan, does it mean he's going to relocate Dubai to Nigeria here? Or he's going to relocate Taiwan to Nigeria? I mean, let's be serious.
Yeah.
You know, politics, people take everything to be politics. What he was saying was that we are going to replicate the emergence of these cities. The way Taiwan transformed itself to a mega state, city-state, is what he was promising. The way Dubai was able to turn from a desert to a destination where everybody wanted to be, a destination point, is what he was promising you. Now I ask the question. When you're building a house, no matter how beautiful the house is, you start with what? The foundation.
Exactly.
Will they say in the last 3 years they have not seen the foundation being built for the transformation of Anambra to be a mega city state like Taiwan is?
Well,
I'm not saying that they've not built the foundation, they've not seen the foundation to take Anambra and create a digital tribe out of it. That technology, this would be the place for technology. I'll give you the results.
Okay.
In the last 2024, Anambra was declared first nationwide in development technology review that they had. That is something that happened in 2 years. The Solution Innovation District is targeted at transforming our young people. Because already, in terms of technology, it's seen that Nigeria, in the next, by 2030, they said, Nigeria will be running a company of $3.something billion in terms of information technology. And you are talking about oil. Oil can't give you that. And you see a state already working towards 2030 to be a key player. And in 2 years, they are judged #1 in the country. Who will say that is not a foundation building? Now, you want to change Dubai, want to change Anambra to a Dubai kind of state that becomes a destination point. You are doing foundation. Solution Fund City, what is that? Today, the nightlife you see in Onitsha and Oka, which is emerging even in Equilobia, were they there before? Is that now the foundation? Mr. Governor says in Igbo, but the issue is they ain't seen nothing yet. The important thing for anyone who is very keen on development of Anambra State is that we see the consistency, the continuity of this laser-focused governance. Because, you see, politics, you get distracted easily. I can tell you that most governors, most presidents who are judged to have done bad, didn't intentionally set out to be bad.
Yeah.
It was a question of being able to manage the forces. In physics, we say force repels force.
Yeah.
The greater one pushes you in that direction, or a resultant direction. So, you see, sometimes a leader is not able to withstand the various contending forces, and the outcome is a deviation and lack of focus. And that's why I said to you, despite all we say about fiscal prudence, fiscal responsibility, the way we've done our e-procurement, the person who is the governor, his personality profile, his determination in the face of adversity, his resilience and laser-focused thought even when you are trying to divert his attention, he's just like a lion will focus on his prey.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, he will focus. He is laser focused to achieve those things. And today, those who opposed him are now clapping for him.
Yeah, all right.
But you know, politics, ambition is
if we leave you, you'll be firing and firing and firing and firing. Maybe 3 hours will not even be enough for you. So we have to open up the phone lines for people to join us.
We'll open the phone lines. Don't dig up what I say. NZUKO Anambra kind of.
It's NZUKO Anambra. Special edition.
I'll try and do the Igbo.
Please try and inject Igbo into what you're saying. So if you're watching us live on Facebook, you can drop your comment there. We read out your comment. You can as well also share, programs, like them, and then drop your comments on the social media platforms. You can call us as well on 0706 5381 320.
Or you can call us on 0904 956 0826. Remember, when you call, move away from your radio set. Tell us your name, give us a location. You have 30 seconds to give us your thoughts. Send us a WhatsApp message. The WhatsApp number 0705 113 8812. Hello, good morning.
ABS, ụtụtụ ọma nọ.
Ụtụtụ ọma.
Ana m ekene onye nọ na studio n'ụzọ pụrụ iche maka etu o si wee kọwaa ihe Dubai Taiwan pụtara. Ịma na ndị Igbo kwuru okwu si na onye a tụrụ inu kọwara ya akọwara na ego ebinu mama ya nara n'iyi. Ka m bata ọfụma ihe nji maka ya wee bịa. Onye na-anụ onye ya bụ ambasadọ Chukwuma onye ụka Blessed Nneoma esi m Nneni wee na-akpọ. Ihe na-atọ m ụtọ karịsịa n'ọrụ Soludo bụ nke mbụ ihe niile ọ na-alụ ekwuru na onwebe ebe ọ gbara mbibi wee na-alụrụ anyị ọrụ a. Nke ịbụa okporo ụzọ niile ọwa ọdụrụ ọ bụrụ nke ọlụchabụ ha alụcha ịgafeta n'ebe ahụ ịfụ na ọrụ na-aga n'iru kwa ụbọchị ọbụla ndị ọrụ nọ n'ihu ọrụ. Unlike before, mgbe gboo gara aga anyị aga wọdụ ụzọ anyị ha alụ ụzọ ahụ ọkara eje setapụta ụzọ ọzọ gosi na TV gosi na pepa na-alụcha n'ụzọ ahụ ọzọ ndị nọ n'ime ogbe ahụ ya ma na-alụbeghị ụzọ ahụ mana kịta ụzọ niile ọwọdụ ọ bụrụ nke alụchabeghị alụcha ị ga-akwụ ndị ọrụ ka ha nọ n'ihu ọrụ. Ana m ekele Soludo na-ekpere ya ekpere dịka a gwara anyị n'akwụkwọ nsọ ka anyị na-ekpere ndị
ọzọ bata
ngwada alụtụ
Hello. Hello.
Good morning, your name and location. You have 35 seconds.
Ekenekwa m ekele nwanne m ekenekwa dọkịta. Onye na-ekwu nnu bụ nwatakwa aka na Aguleri.
No, nwatakwa aka.
Dr. Obiogbola good morning. Na maanụ ma Dr. Obiogbola o nwere Dr. Obiogbola anyị chalụ na Lagos Navy Hospital there na ma ọnyanwa nwere relation.
Okay, ọ nọ here, ọ ya azọla ọnụ ya.
Okay.
I do what, sir?
I'm a medical doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He wants to know if you were the Obiogbola that he worked with in Lagos.
Eventually, because
Okay.
for you to be here. Okay, is the one?
Yes.
Okay, doctor, good morning.
Morning, ụtụtụ ọma nwanne m.
Yeah, I will talk later. But eventually, number one, security aspect.
15 seconds.
What is wrong? All the wrong for security men to be putting on mask or hood.
Okay.
If any security man, the first thing you see, that person name tag. Onye na-akọ iru ya na ndị ọ na-eche, what is he hiding?
Okay.
The second one is this ACO what? They are dehumanizing people. Please take these two things back to governor and let us see how we are going to do it. Please, good morning. Maybe after the program I can get through Roy and get your number. Good morning again and God bless Anambra.
Bless you too.
Bless you.
Thank you.
We have messages on Facebook. Chigozie Ezemanari Dalo Noriene Ngozi Hobby. Congrats to my governor, Governor Soludo, Anambra Gaderema. God bless my home state, Anambra State. Uzochukwu Davids, Anambra is highly blessed having someone like Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo as the governor of the state. Mazi Onyebuchimba He has done marvelously well under his 3 years in office. If I have all the time in the world, it won't be enough for me to mention it one by one, all he had done in Anambra State under 3 years. He is the only politician in Nigeria to build and turn around decades dead infrastructure in the state to new ones under 3 years in office. Thank you so much. Keep dropping your comments. We'll do well to read them out when we see them.
Hello.
Hello, ABS.
Otutu Oma.
Congratulations to our amiable and support.
Your name and location first.
Yes, my name is NZUKO. I'm from Umuawolo.
Onyeka from Umuawolo.
Onyeka, are you a first time caller?
No, I'm a regular.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I want to congratulate our amiable governor, Professor Chukuma Charles Soludo. Lord, woman in honor and Furia. And I say,
yeah.
On the opposition politicians. Chance had an worker, we had an worker, because 20 to the end of 8 years. Oh, you're not too. Thank you.
All right, and then information. All those congratulating the governor here, we have a special congratulatory packaged card where you can pick from ABS and congratulate the governor.
Money.
And just for a token, so that we can buy our diesel, maintain our equipment, and then entertain you more and inform you more and more.
So
back to Doc. Okay, welcome the person and then we get back to Doc.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sam Okafor from Nibo.
You're welcome.
Because I'm making the governor in all one Anambra State. For the development in Anambra State, I've been there before. That is what the best, I'm not the best every day in short. So even now, one day I say now, one actually contest. I'm seeing on social media every time. So what is the balance in Nagwaka? Because what you now go need on actually spend. If I will let you go take Garin and that go now go. As once, wait for me. If check it for me, what will you do? And I go now go in. What will you end the mother and the mother go now go Gary?
Okay.
And when the chance Nagwaka or Soludo is coming back.
Okay.
There is no point for them to waste their resources.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
what about Dr. Biowolo? Somebody, a caller talked about the security operatives.
Yes.
Covering their faces.
Yes. Man, even in before, even gunmen. But by the time I did the basiva, I found on the BA line. Ọtụtụ n'ime ba bi line ndị ọzọ si esi wee bịa. But no okeno no gwala okeno n'ilo.
So you much akwa
tin. So the people na ị ga-eme bụ na ndị security a bụ ndị bi line. And value so over fagali pa from obodo. So to protect themselves from harm. Agile operations now move for Lagos River. Because oftentimes, umuaka have had the king ijide. Malofa.
Okay.
On a operation Nigeria, operation Anibo, even you watch CNN and all some of these foreign distance. Even Ecuador, Colombia, they fight drug. Finally, Puchisi River. Even America, they fight drug. Because that man, India, the deadly. Fafu Fabian Mayasi. So, if I go, if I Puchiru, the second one can call on. Oftentimes, tough situations require tough solutions. Okay, Bidolifa, Anna, your Colombia, Siva, Puano no Piweka, Puano na Pax. Puano Rabaf, and is worry, no rape, no mefe. As a man, age deva before before
yeah.
Age deva because the law requires you to arrest and hand over to the police for prosecution.
Yes.
So what was noticed was that when you get them out, when you get them in, they get out. And Makata say, okay, can use your Orchard Brigade law, which they some of them. If they found that Orchard Brigade law, would have a magistrate. Before you know it, they will get out on bail. So this was frustrating the SASA people. And then suddenly we began to see that because they were killing people and dumping corpses under the flyover at Opiwik and all this things.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, this we started getting report, the first report about NZUKO were. Of course, Mr. Governor wasn't happy about it. Nobody was happy. The Commissioner for Homeland Security cautioned them. But they did produce result. The rest is history. Because now, after those incidences happened, it looked like the place became cleared.
Yeah.
But I would say that they have stopped that activity. The people who were involved were given some kind of discipline. Okay. There was a release on it. They showed them, disciplined them. But each one more, as only the passionate about Anambra changing, how can visitors come into the gateway of the southeast? Jump on buses, jump on trucks, do all manners of things. So after that, many of them came for rehabilitation. And government was able to absorb them and retrain them. So this Okuakodo must have been a former thing. I don't think it's something that is happening as at this moment. But I just needed to explain it. No matter what
it's good.
Genesis to it.
Even the issue of face mask. I think to some people now the picture is now clear why they cover their face. And then yes, you read out a panoply of achievements of the governor. What are we expecting in the next 1 year?
Well, in the next 1 year, we what next big steps? You know? We want to complete our dualizations.
Okay.
We've set up a synergy between primary health care, secondary health care, and tertiary. That's primary health care centers. And we're 326 primary health care centers and are refurbished.
Yes.
I think about 149 have been completed. Solar light that gives them uninterrupted light, water, and then what you call telemedicine. Nige food doctor with Oyonyo. Now every ward. So for that elderly woman in a village, I will not draw. Oputa of a doctor. Obiana primary health care center, be nurse no. Then I choose community, if I community health worker.
Yeah.
Right? I connect here to doctor. Doctor Afia from Oyonyo. Me Delaware Gufuya. Obulon Kege moves here to General Hospital. And the government has built 5 brand new hospitals, general hospitals. Renovated 17 other ones. Because actually, general hospital in every local government. Can you imagine that Fege, almighty Fege, Udaya Bello, Abata, Nibai, Batalo. That place had no general hospital. But the government has put one now, Soludo has put one now. Okoko has a brand new general hospital. Automated. Anambra was that no matter the Governor Jokia Tobaba, the first governor Jalaba, found a general hospital. So with that, then the tertiary hospital, Amako, which is now Chukwemeka Ojumego Ojukwu Teaching Hospital, has been upgraded. And we'll go accreditation, and we're building the biggest trauma center. Right? In Nigeria, the greatest cause of death in Nigeria is what you call RTA, road traffic accident. This sudden death. Now, they shouldn't die most times from accidents, but from bleeding, internal bleeding, and no response, they die. But now, domestic accident came or maybe blunt injuries, you can now be sure that you will have a center that will deal with you and preserve your life. You know, so those are the next big steps. Of course, Mr. Governor is building Onitsha 2.0, Oka 2.0, new mega cities that are smart city compliant. And of course, that is going to be a new city. There's going to be a new Onitsha main market that will be probably the biggest indoor mall in Africa. He's building. these are setting up. Then, of course, I have passed go electricity bill. So we're going to have an electricity market that will help boost up and make sure that electricity is constant. Already in Oka, Onitsha, Ekulobia, this we've had this agreement with the EEDC, and there's been improved service in terms of electricity supply. So, well, of course, we have the Oboji Industrial Cluster, right? We have the Oba Pharmaceutical Hub, that will make sure that we reduce all this crisis of fake drugs anyway. They are moving there.
Yeah.
So many things to be done. But I want to just say something because I know we may be running on time. Mr. Governor continues to say, 1, thank you. 2, thank you. 3, thank you. To Anambra and residents of Anambra who have given him that immense support. Because in Manamad nation,
Yes.
So he continues to be immensely thankful.
That goes to me to ask the relationship between Mr. Governor and, in fact, the entire governance of his administration and the people. The relationship. How would you?
No, it's good. That's what I'm saying. Mr. Governor continues to be grateful. Of course, there are a few people who feel they are privileged. No more. After all, Governor Ndio on a phone. Governor Ndio on a development. Now, Mr. Governor is not interested in those things. He rather use that money and give free education. But with the people, everywhere he goes, the amount of love, outpouring of love that he's shown, it's what he keeps saying that motivates him to want to do more. And every minute, he doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep. At 2 a.m., he's calling various commissioners and heads of parastatals. By 6:30, he's up. By 8, he's doing his morning devotion. So he's just all about how he can deliver it. Because he'll tell you that we have a timeline. And that our state is one people, one state, one people, one agenda. So he continues to thank our people immeasurable for all the support. And the only way I tell people to even do more, everybody can be active.
Yeah.
But for those who can be active, join the party. Because only if na Afghan and the other, all Progressives Grand Alliance, Ilotoge, Bobo, Enwe, Obga. The word progressive, Bundi Nelo Makandi Obene, Ndilo Maka development. And that is the word you see in Abga. From the time it was formed by the late NZUKO and our leaders, the party has continued to grow. And Ibia, you can only encourage, because Ibia, they say when you live in Rome,
You
like Romans.
Yeah.
So if a party, one never, or 1 year, you want to join them and do. And that's why I tell people, everybody cannot stay as a follower. But when they have leaders, we need to build young leaders for the future that will continue with this principle of love, compassion, empathy, and progress.
Okay. All right.
We have a message here. So that's from God first. They say, congrats to our Awakening Amiable Mr. Governor on his 3rd anniversary in office. Please, my concern is still on the activities of the security outfit Agune Chamber, aka Udogachi. Some presidents, general, and influential persons are beginning to use them to settle both personal community feud. This must be looked into. I don't know. What if you have anything to say?
And he didn't put his location, his name.
I didn't see the name here.
Well, even what the problem we have in Nigeria today, not just in Anambra, is a loss of value system.
Yeah.
And that's what Mr. Governor is talking about, social reorientation. Sometimes people in power tend to believe that they become demigods. They don't realize that public service means public good. You are serving the public good. So when we see these kind of things, we deal with them.
Yeah.
And Mr. Governor frowns seriously on them. Not only on that, even in the past, we had issues where PGs now hired out their security to big men, And of course, Mr. Governor condemned that and made sure that that was halted. So these things is a work in progress for our society. As we see them, we will deal with them.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. This morning, hi to the east.
Champions.
Back down for you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
na-ekele unu niile ọkpụ na ugegbe n'aja. I listened with interest ihe niile ọ kọwara and ya niile na-akpọ ka nnu bekee nke kachacha tọ m ụtọ na gọvanọ si na ọnwa pụtara ndị beans amapụta garịa ịmacha ya na ịkwụ ya akwụ wee na-alụ ndị be anyị ka anyị nye m ihe oyere ka akwụcha beans a sie ya ka anyị rie ya ọ na-atọ etu a mgbe akwọrọ ya rie ya ka ezi ka ọ ga-adị na mgbe akwọrọ ya richaa ya aka nna ya ka na-ewe dịchasịara anyị ma nzebowa na ụmụ nzedeme.
Okay, hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
You don't run, come on.
Please call us back. Someone else is here. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
You are breaking the rule already. Move away from the radio set.
Are you still hearing noise?
Okay, go on. Your name and
Your
location.
name.
Una noise.
Hello?
I'm hearing you. I say una noise.
No, it's okay now. It's clear. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Is it audible?
Yeah, it's audible. Very audible.
I wouldn't like to live in a paradox.
Yeah.
Soludo Mwambafo, who governor, governor Acholacho, before Achota. A lot of puzzles. But then when I see you na bomi, only in my boy, Yamana, over here, Afuna Midi bomi. And our mother, Lugolo, whether he teacher. I just count 2-3 things at a time. In terms of education, I can't know when I like it, go up my ego one at Tomotorin. I read it. I'm a good one. I go up. So, we're going to see that very prodigy and progenitor by it are from Marka, not young on education. We made to secondary school. It has not happened anywhere, any place in the world. So now, Dubai and Oman and Libya. Manebo knows it to a man. We don't know. Oh, one that being which I'm one of most of the time, where you are maternal this thing.
Mortality.
Mortality. You are one and the being theater. Can't go to before one. Man can't go by it.
Oh, by then, and what all? Okay.
When you go and cater, we were a sound networking of road.
Also, goes the time where I gotta go, I
can't capture on oil and million, but on I wanted the man and you go dear million or more.
What I won't go to million. Thank you very much. You know, celebrations like this, you know, I think as kind of attendant phone fare, billions will be spent. There'll be, you know, activities here and there. So how is the governor celebrating?
As a
recap for today.
Yesterday we had a service to thank Almighty God. You had in attendance about 189 priests, fathers, 4 bishops, you know, and a huge crowd of Anambra who came in to thank God for what God had used Professor Soludo to do for our people in Anambra State. And of course, he's back to business. Today, this evening, he's going to be on the media chat at 7 p.m. And he's already working. Tomorrow, 18th, we're going to Okpoko.
New Heaven.
Wow.
New Heaven, which has transformed from Okpoko slum to Okpoko New Heaven. And we're going to see the water running, showing that it's been consistent and sustainable. Of course, water is running in most parts of Oka, Onitsha, and Okpoko, and is moving around the whole state. The issue is to make sure that we provide drinking potable water to our citizens. And along the week, he will be commissioning a lot of projects. A lot, and we'll have some visitors who also come to commission.
I think here where you mentioned wining and dining.
No. It's not part of our system anymore. I told you, I'm sure EBS knows that everything is management now. You manage limited resources. Everything, Mr. God will tell you is, well, I know a kilometer of road when I try to be or see, one hospital, in the Obodogalia, again, refurbish. So he doesn't, when you tell him all those stories, it's not for it. And I think the solution team is getting used to it.
Yeah.
Anybody, those who didn't feel comfortable had left the stream, and those, Maziva and Acho, have stayed back to work. And that is one good thing, I think, that his governorship has brought. To the fact that we have a responsible, lean, efficient government. Once you have that, then you're coming close to what Lagos has done over 20-something years. Because Lagos has continued to develop with a master plan. We've had leaders who were good. Our former governors have been good. But we didn't have a master plan as to this is where we're going to in the next 50, 60 years. And that is what's happening now.
Okay.
All right.
So your final message to the Anambra?
My final message is to say to them congratulations, because we have all done great. This is our London, this is our America. Many people haven't crossed the River Niger Bridge. This is everything we have. And we're proud to see the transformation going on in our state. And I can only say that everyone has a part to play in this. Tax. If you see something, say something. And then keep your environment clean. Remember, don't soil the drainages, don't pour waste onto the streets, and then don't build your drainage systems onto the road. Those are taxpayers' money. All
right. We want to thank you for coming, the special advisor to the governor on political matters, Dr. Alex Obiobolu. Dalo Dikino Yelai Nanketa.
Dalo Joe, thank you.
Asige ebaka ebana chikota na nzuko Anambra nko bochitata ahambo uchechukwu ebonam ogebenaja ndibaye nolnofuma
Mo bro ekunife abayego mu ugbomu nyama yacht oziala okpotolopo.go echikwa banyenke.com